Hi everybody, it's Jamie. I'm going to try this once again tonight, and as you can see I've already tried this once. Didn't work out how I wanted, so I swiped it all off, just paint. So this is the first time I've ever done something like this, so you're going to bear with me a little bit. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be doing a jiggle pour. I'll just give you a quick rundown. My paints are mixed with Floetrol. You can get this at any hardware store. I use Deco Art paint, and then mix that 1 part paint to 2 parts of that Floetrol, and I put them in these little bottles, and I put nylon in here. Oh yeah, make sure that you strain your Floetrol. Your Floetrol always has lumps in it, so I just get a little strainer and I strain it through it into a cup before I mix it with my paint, and then I put nylon on all of my paint caps just to help catch any future lumps, because that'll ruin your design if you get lumps in your paint. So I'm just going to get right to this tonight. I've already tried doing it twice actually, so hopefully this works and we're done. I'm going to kind of try to do a colorful one. It's going to be a jiggle pour like I did before. So you just layer your cup. And I'm going to start with yellow. The first color you put in is going to be the last color that comes out. So I'm going to do yellow there. Some orange. I'm almost out of orange, so I'm going to kind of go light on my orange. I need more than 1 layer. I'm actually going to close this and tip it upside down so it drains out. Sorry about that. And then we're going to go with some red. And then I'm going to put black before my next cool colors come in. I have my warm colors and the cool colors. The warm colors don't really want them to mix. It kind of turns to mud, so I'm going to put just a little buffer, not a whole lot, or else it'll take over your painting. So I'm putting a little bit of black in there. I'm going to go to my blues. I only have a little bit of this turquoise left, so I'm going to go slow on that, easy on that too. So I got that in there. I think yeah, we'll do with my original plan. So some purple, some navy. I'm going to buffer between those two here now with some white. And back to my yellow. Start that whole process over again. Oops, my orange. Set that down. Try not to move your cups around too much while you're filling them. Oh, I'm really out of orange. You don't want your paints to mix too much. You want to have nice, lines of paint in there. Well, I guess that's the end of the orange. I'm going to make some more of that. Back into my red. And then we're going to hit that again with some... Can't remember if I did black or white. I think I did black. I'll hit that again with some black. Turquoise isn't coming out very fast either. I'm almost out of it, and it must have a bump in it or something because it's not wanting to come out very fast. And some more purple. Back to my navy. And some more white. Not quite sure if I have enough paint, so I'm just going to use a little bit more of these here to fill this in. Most of this stuff here on the top gets dumped off anyway. This is the first stuff to come out of your cup. And a lot of times when you're tilting, that goes away anyway. But you want to have enough paint that you can get a design and you can keep it, because you're going to have to really dump on here. So I got my cup. You see you got your different lines in there. Set that down. And I'm going to use my black and I'm going to make a puddle in the center. And this is where you're going to start your process of painting it in there. And I'll add some more around the outside too at some point because I need to have that for paint to flow well. Get my little puddle started. I'm going to torch this to get some air bubbles out. You don't want air bubbles in there when they pop. Sometimes they'll leave pits in your painting. You don't want that in there. So I'm going to start out right in the middle, and then I'm going to move it kind of through the design to get the composition that I want. So you just start out pouring right in the center. The closer and further you are away, the more the different effects you're going to get. I'm going to wiggle this back and forth right here in the center. Here in a second, I'm going to start making a tail going out. And I'm going to come back through that. I'm going to pour a little bit more paint off over here. Give my tail kind of an end. And I'm going to come back through. So wiggling back and forth as I go. Got a lot of paint in here, more than I needed, but it's all right. I think I'm going to go one more time through the center. You don't want to go all the way to the end of your paint, because you go all the way to the end of your cup, a lot of times it's muddy down there. You don't really want it to get too muddy. And right here at the end, I'm gonna hit that so that I can get that and not drip, but I did. I dripped. But that's all right. We'll see what she does. My canvas is not level apparently because most of my paint's going off this edge, which you don't really want to have happen, but it did, so we will work with it. I am gonna try and stop it though because it's still going. A lot of times this stuff looks muddy when you first get it on there. Just gotta work with it here. Stretch that stuff out and it'll look a lot better. A lot different than what it does right now. Just gotta go through here, pop all my air bubbles. I'm gonna stretch this out and then I'll end up doing that again. Sometimes it brings up cells, which looks like it's bringing up a little bit of cells in there. I don't really like having cells in this thing, but we'll see what happens. I really like the way this looks down here, so I'm gonna try and keep that. Oh, whoops. I need to put more of this on so that it doesn't roll on itself. So you want to get your canvas nice and wet with your paint. That helps your paint flow over itself and not on itself like this. You don't want it to do that or you're going to lose your composition. So just get a good little layer of paint down where you're going to take that out to those corners. Not quite enough on here. We'll see what happens. Sometimes when they roll it doesn't take too much, but okay, so we're going to see here. So I want to keep that, I think, and stretch that back out. So I'm actually going to take this back down this way a little. Don't know how I feel about this. Is rolling too much on itself, so I'm not going to keep any of that actually. Take it down, up, over that edge, and then back. I'm going to try and center that back in there. Now I want to go to this corner down here. I wanted to kind of keep some of that, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to be able to. Not and get it over that. So I'm over that corner, so now I'm going to come back, bring that composition back towards the center where I want it, and pull some of that down. Look at your composition, see what you like, what you don't like, how you want to try to dump, and what you want to keep, what you don't. I do kind of like these colors, but there's no way it's going to stay. So I'm going to end up losing this, and probably I'll take all that off to match this side. So over the edge over here, back up. Now I'm going to take it over this edge over here, which I'm actually going to add a little bit more paint here. Alright, so now we're going to dump this side. And pull that back. Don't put your hands over top of your painting. I did that on the last one when I was trying to show some stuff and I dripped right in the painting. So I'm going to try and bring this all down this way a little bit. I kind of try to find the weight of my paint where it's weighted down at so that I can get it to move where I want it to. I think I'm going to take this down. Make this almost look like a feather. I'll take that down. Just to give it that curve there. And painting is really slippery. Try and bring it this way a little bit. Pull out a little bit more of that color there in the corner to match the other side. Now I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to run it along the edge of all my sides to try to stop that paint from pulling down. The weight of your paint down there will actually continue to pull your paint off from the top. So make sure you wipe that off there, or else you'll come up later and your painting's going to look completely different. Let me go wash my hands, be right back. So I really like it. I think it turned out looking like a feather almost to me. I like the way that it is looking there like that. I wish I had a little bit more color in here, but it really helps this stand out more in the center. Check your edges, your corners, make sure that all your corners are covered. Mine are, because I had already done it once today, twice today. 3 times a charm, right? Just make sure all your corners are covered, because it's sort of important not to forget those. I'm trying to center this a little bit more. And I'm going to grab you for a close-up. First I'm going to torch any of these bubbles that showed up in here after I poured that and moved it around. You get more bubbles that show up in there. You want all those out while it's drying, or you're going to end up with pits and stuff in your painting, and you don't want that. So excuse me for 1 second while I grab you off here. Alright, so here are some close-ups of what we just did. The lines stayed really nice and straight. I mean, the lines are good. Happy with that. And then you got in here, if you look, it looks like there's fire coming out of there, doesn't it? It's like all blends together so well, so nice. And having those separations in the colors helps give you all those fingerlings, things that come out there like that. Get all sorts of, I love that part. It looks really cool. I like that a lot. Yep, I have to say I'm happy with this one. Oop. So there it is. Hope you all enjoyed this little thing. I'm sorry, it's the first time I've ever done it. I'm not really good at this stuff, so let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If this goes over well, I guess I'll try it again. Alright, have a nice night, guys. Bye-bye.